Welcome to the Information and Education Module, lesson number 2. The concept of caries, classification of carious cavities by Black, general stage of preparation of carious cavities. The concept of caries. Choose the say. This is a pathological process that manifests itself after eruption, in which demineralization and softening of hard tooth tissues occur, followed by the formation of a defect in the form of a cavity. Conditions for the occurrence and development of dental caries. Caries susceptibility of the dental surface. Cariogenic bacteria. Fermented carbohydrates. Time. Caries susceptibility. The dental surface depends on many factors. Property of the anatomical surface of the tooth. Saturation of tooth enamel with fluoride. Oral hygiene. Diet factor. Quality and quantity of saliva. Genetic factors. General condition of the body. Classification of caries by MMCI. The classification of caries by MMCI was developed taking into account the depth of the carious cavity. 1. Caries in the spot stage. 2. Superficial caries. 3. Medium tooth decay. 4. Deep caries. Classification of caries according to ACD-10. K02.0 enamel caries stage of white spot. K02.1 dental caries. K02.2 caries of cement. K02.3 suspended dental caries. K02.4 odontoclasia. K02.8 other dental caries. K02.9 unspecified dental caries. Classification of carious cavities by Black. One class by Black. Cavities located in the fissures of the masticatory surface of molars and premolars, as well as in the blind pits of molars and upper lateral incisor. Two class by Black. Cavities located on the contact approximal surfaces of molars and premolars. Class 3 by Black. Cavities on the contact approximal surfaces in incisors and canyons without damaging the cutting edge or corner of the crown. 4 class by Black. Cavities on the contact surfaces of incisions and canyons with damage to the cutting edge of corner of the crown. 5 class by Black. Cavities in the cervical region of all group 2 teeth. Class 6 by Black. Cavities on the cutting edge of the frontal and on the tops of the lateral tooth mounts. Method of preventing expansion. This method involves a wide excision of caries susceptible areas with the creation of the box-shaped cavity. And advantage of this method are the durability of filling, the low frequency of recurrent caries, and the simplicity of developing and standard approach to cavity preparation. The disadvantages include enlarged volume of health tissue being exist, weakening of the crown strength, and large time cost. The methods of preventive expansion is indicated when using high-strength, long-lasting filling materials that do not have adhesion to tooth tissue, amalgams, and inlays. The methods of biological expedience in provided for a sparing attitude of unaffected tissues. When preparing by the Lukomsky method, only tooth tissue affected by the carious process exists. The advantage of these methods are the preservation in intact tooth tissues, simplicity of execution, the labor intensity, and less time spent. General stage of preparation of carious cavities. The most important stage of surgical treatment of caries, which unlimitedly affects the effectiveness of the entire treatment. Preparation of the carious cavity involves the sequential implementation of give stage. 1. Opening of the carious cavity. 2. Expansion of the carious cavity. 3. Necrectomy. 4. Formation of a carious cavity. 5. Finishing of enamel edges. 1. Opening of the carious cavity. This step consists in removing all overhanging and covered edges of the enamel before obtaining vertical walls. The goal of this stage is to provide access for further manipulation and a good view of the cavity. It is advisable to open the cavity with fissure of spherical burrs, corresponding in size to the diameters of the inlet opening of the cavity at high speed using a turbine tip. 2. Expansions of the carious cavity. Preventive expansions is the constitution of the stage of opening the carious cavity. Its purpose is to prevent the relapse of caries. At this stage, the final external shape of the cavity is created. The stage of expansions of carious cavity is performed by fissued reverse cone-shaped and bullet-shaped burrs with a turbine handpiece. Necrectomy. This stage involves the complete removal of pathological altered tissue from the carious cavity. Necrectomy begins with the removal of softened dentin with a sharp excavation moving from the bottom to the walls. Then a thin layer of border dentin is removed with a spherical drill at low speed. At the bottom of the cavity, pigmented but hard dentin is allowed, especially at large depths of the cavity. Caries detector. To visualize tissue infection and determine the volume of necrectomy, Professor Fusayama proposed a drug called, which is a 0.5% solution of basic fusion of a 1% solution of red acid in propylene glycol. The dye application is inserted into the cavity for 15 seconds. In this case, an affected tissue, a stained but healthy ones are not. Pointed areas are removed with burr. For formation of carious cavity, the goal of this stage is giving the carious cavity in an optimal shape for further filling. Creating an enamel bevel. Enamel beveling is a stage of carious cavity formation that prevents an appearance of the white line effect. The formation strategy depends on the filling material. For amalgam, for the entire thickness of the enamel. For composites, for half the thickness of the enamel. When filling carious cavities with cement plastics, the bevel is not formed. Enamel beveling is performed with fissure, reverse cone-shaped, flame-shaped bores with diamond coating at high speed with a turbine tip. 5. Finishing the enamel edges. Final treatment of the edges of the caries cavity aimed at preventing the recurrence of caries. Finishing ensures the best interaction between the filling materials and the tooth tissue. This manipulation is performed with a carborundum stone, a finishing carbide drill, or a fine-grained diamond head, a low speed without pressure with mandatory air-water cooling. Thank you for your attention.